a young franchise, but they've done it. What a start!
Over the past 12 days, Pindi Cricket Stadium has provided a gleaming stage for batters. Young and old, local and international, men and women to showcase their talents. 14 scores of 200 plus, featuring 6 centuries and 31 50s. It has been a veritable run fest of records galore. Now, just one game remains, and it's the home team, Islamabad United, hoping to secure that precious top 2 finish. Up against them, Babar Azam's Peshawar Zalmi, also playoff bound. But whose bowlers have borne the brunt of the batting onslaught here. Riley Rousseau has broken his own HBL PSL record, 17 balls for his first 50 and just 24 for his second 50.
What a knock from Jason Roy. He's brought Quetta Gladiators back to life.
It is time to bid farewell to the biggest star of HBL Pakistan Super League so far. This beautiful block of clay, so good and so true.
So for one last time, we welcome you once again from Pindi. This season's HBL PSL featuring Islamabad United looking to finish in top 2 against Peshawar Zalmi. Well, it has been a brilliant venue for batters out here. We've seen some records being broken. This particular match, of course, holds its importance. Peshawar Zalmi knows that they will be playing the eliminator, but for Islamabad United, it's a moment where they can finish in top 2. Hello and welcome to the pitchside studio. I'm Sikandar with you, and we have a lot to look forward to. This has been a run fest out here. Batters have had a very, very good time, and indeed, every single person who's come to the ground and bought a ticket has been thoroughly entertained. I've got my guests alongside me, and we'll welcome Sana Mir and Waqar Yunus. हमने बहुत कुछ देखा यहाँ पे बैटर्स के लिए, बॉलर्स के लिए बार बार कहा जा रहा है कि हाँ थोड़ा टफ था, लेकिन हमने अब्बास आफरीदी को कल देखा, 5 विकेट्स ली. इससे पहले लाहौर कलंदर्स ने 107 पे आउट कर दिया ऑपोजिशन को. तो आई थिंक अ बिट फॉर एवरीवन. थोड़े से स्मार्ट बॉलर्स होंगे तो अच्छा और दिखेगा आज. लेकिन इस मैच को अगर आप देखते हैं तो इस्लामाबाद यूनाइटेड पूरी कोशिश करेगा और जोर लगाएगा कि टॉप 2 में आए.
आई थिंक बॉलर्स की जहाँ तक आपने बात की है, अगर स्कोर बहुत बड़ा हो बोर्ड पे तो फिर ज़्यादा इफेक्टिव नज़र आते हैं. कल अगर अब्बास आफरीदी को भी देखें, जब 260 250 लगा हुआ था तो फिर ऑब्वियसली आके अपनी चेंज ऑफ पेस के ऊपर ज़्यादा आसानी थी. बट अदरवाइज सिर्फ बैटर्स पैराडाइज है, इसमें कोई शक नहीं है. बट ओवरऑल आई थिंक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट गेम है फॉर इस्लामाबाद यूनाइटेड. आई थिंक इनके लिए, बिकॉज दे वुड वांट टू फिनिश इन द टॉप 2. पेशावर ज़ल्मी, दे हैव अ ग्रेट चांस कि इस मैच में जो उनकी बॉलिंग में प्रॉब्लम आ रही है उसमें डिफरेंट लोगों को ट्राई करके दे कैन सी इफ समथिंग एल्स वर्क्स फॉर देम.
515 रन बन गए, वर्ल्ड रिकॉर्ड हो गया. किसी एक मैच में इतने रन पूरी दुनिया में कहीं नहीं बने.
सिकंदर, यू वर नाइस टू द बॉलर्स दैट सेइंग कि जी बॉलर्स ने बड़ा अच्छा किया ओकेजनली. वो कौन सा ओकेजन था, मुझे दिखाइए. एक सिर्फ हैट्रिक कल को निकाल लीजिए. तो इट इज बीन यू नो ग्रेट फॉर द बैटर्स. आई मीन, मैं पिंडी में पहले भी बहुत दफ़ा खेला भी हूँ, मैं यहाँ पहले भी बहुत दफ़ा है. इस तरह की पिच कभी नहीं देखी थी. एंड यू नो, जैसे आपने कहा कि रन्स ही रन्स और बॉलर्स के लिए मुश्किलात ही मुश्किलात. डिमोरलाइजिंग फॉर द बॉलर्स था ये लेग. बट यू नो, एंटरटेनमेंट की बात की जाए, अगर सिर्फ बैटिंग को एंटरटेनमेंट कहा जाता है T20 क्रिकेट में, तो येस, एवरीवन इज बीन एंटरटेन्ड. इट्स बीन अ ग्रेट लेग व्हेन यू टॉक अबाउट ऑल द 4 venues. सो I think superb. I mean, crowd was excellent. I really enjoyed everything. And the women cricket, of course, that was icing on the cake. You know, great to see that.
Let's have a look at the league table. We are in match 29 at the moment. And of course, as I said earlier, Islamabad United have an opportunity to finish top 2, Sana, and they will put in every effort and try and get there.
Of course, and they've got Peshawar Zalmi, who they have a good record against as well. तो कोशिश करेंगे कि ये 2 points लेके ऊपर चले जाएं, क्योंकि आपको पता है it's such a big advantage to just play one game and right into the finals. You don't want to play 2 games, have 2 opportunities जहाँ पे आपको दोनों मैच लाजमी जीतने हैं, then you only make it to the finals. So I think पूरा जोर लगाएगा Islamabad United, but they might not have Azam Khan. We still have to see जब teams आएंगी, but उनकी इंजरी से भी काफी फर्क पड़ रहा है उनको.
Yeah, you mentioned about Azam Khan. He's an integral part of that middle order. And जो उनको injury हुई थी, वकार, that is something that we hope के playoffs के लिए available हों. आज हैं कि नहीं मालूम नहीं.
देखिए, इंजरी जब इस तरह इस टाइम पे हो, जब टूर्नामेंट बिजनेस एंड पे पहुंच जाए और ऐसे प्लेयर की कि जो इतनी अच्छी फॉर्म में हो, जो मैच विनर हो और अकेला मैच जितवाने के उसमें काबिलियत हो, तो अगर उसको इंजरी होती है और अगर ये आगे नहीं खेल सक रहे, तो इस्लामाबाद यूनाइटेड के लिए बहुत बड़ा झटका होगा. इज आउट देयर, विच इज़ अ गुड साइन, एंड आई एम सो प्लीज एंड हैप्पी दैट इज नॉट ब्रोकन. बिकॉज टूट जाती है तो फिर मुश्किल हो जाता है. बट गोइंग फॉरवर्ड, आई थिंक दे प्रोबेबली नीड हिम, एंड ही इज नो डाउट अ ट्रू मैच विनर.
इनका फिटनेस टेस्ट है मैच से पहले आज, जो डिसाइड करेंगे कि ये खेलने के लिए अवेलेबल होंगे या नहीं. कितनी अहमियत देगा इस्लामाबाद? ऑफ कोर्स अगर आप टॉप 2 में जाते हैं तो आपको ये चांस है कि आप सीधा फाइनल खेलें, तो इम्पोर्टेंट तो है इस्लामाबाद के लिए ना.
देखिए, इम्पोर्टेंट तो है, बट इस्लामाबाद एक ऐसी टीम है जिसके पास रिजर्व में बहुत लोग मौजूद हैं. अगर आप इनकी भी रिप्लेसमेंट देखें तो रहमानुल्लाह गुरबाज, जो बहुत ज़बरदस्त बैटर भी हैं, कीपर भी हैं, वो भी मौजूद है. तो मेरे हिसाब से अगर तो ये मैच इनके बगैर जीता जा सकता है तो जा सकता है इस्लामाबाद इनके बगैर, ताकि फाइनल में ये वहाँ पर मौजूद हों. बिकॉज यू डोंट वांट कि आज, क्योंकि जब कभी कभी आपकी हाफ इंजरी होती है, खासतौर पे उंगलियों की इंजरी होती है, उसके ऊपर दोबारा लगे तो फ्रैक्चर का डर भी होता है. सो इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कि इस वक्त इनको सेव कर दिया जाए, क्योंकि कीपर है, बॉल तो बार बार आएगा उनके पास. तो मैं पर्सनली समझती हूँ कि इस तरह के प्लेयर को, अनलेस उनका पूरी तरह से ठीक है, ये वाला मैच रेस्ट कराना चाहिए. बिकॉज इस्लामाबाद अगर अच्छी क्रिकेट खेले तो इनके बगैर भी जीत सकता है पेशावर से.
चलिए, कल हमने देखा, बहुत मजा आया. सैटरडे नाइट जो है वो एब्सोल्यूट एंटरटेनमेंट थी. 515 रन बने थे कल. सो लेट्स लुक एट द नंबर्स गेम एंड फाइंड आउट व्हाट ऑल वी विटनेस्ड यस्टरडे. Well, indeed, it was Saturday night fever. 515 runs scored, the most in T20 history. 33 sixes in one match of HBL PSL. And of course, the 36 ball 100 from Usman Khan was the fastest HBL PSL 100. First hat-trick of HBL PSL 8. That was also yesterday, Abbas Afridi. And 91 runs scored in a power play by Multan. That is also a most in HBL PSL. So, बॉलर के लिए है ना वहाँ पे हैट्रिक. अच्छा, बॉलर्स की अगर मैं बात करूं तो एक सवाल मेरा पूछना था कि 2 बार ऐसा हुआ है पेशावर ज़ल्मी ने 240 जो है वो कंसीड किए हैं. आज उनके लिए क्वालिफिकेशन का कोई इशू नहीं है, वो जहां हैं वहीं रहेंगे, हारेंगे भी तो. क्या आप अगर उधर होते तो आज पिंडी में एक्सपोज नहीं करते अपने बॉलर्स को, रेस्ट कराते की बॉलर्स को, या आप कहते हैं नहीं खेलो?
देखिए, you don't want to go into power play, you know, losing a game and going in, because वो आपको कहीं ना कहीं वो आपको जो डिस्ट्रैक्ट भी करता है, आपको नीचे भी थोड़ा सा खींचता है. सो यू डू वांट टू विन द गेम. इट्स नॉट दैट. यस, अगर कोई इंजरी प्रॉब्लम है, कोई इश्यूज ऐसे हैं, तो ज़रूर मैं कहूँगा कि अपने प्लेयर्स को रेस्ट कराना चाहिए, बिल्कुल होना चाहिए, क्योंकि बैक टू बैक मैचेस हुए हैं यहाँ, और बॉलर्स को जितनी यहाँ मार पड़ी है वो वैसे भी डिमोरलाइज्ड हुए हैं. तो पेशावर ज़ल्मी क्योंकि मूव नहीं कर सकते अपनी जगह से, 3 से 4, 4 से 3 की इसी जगह पे रहेंगे, ऊपर की 2 में नहीं आ सकते. तो इस्लामाबाद यूनाइटेड के लिए ज़्यादा इम्पॉर्टेंट है ये मैच कि वो जीते. वो प्रॉबली कोशिश करेंगे कि अगर आज़म खान खेल सकें तो ज़रूर खेलें. लेकिन आई एग्री विद सना कि अगर हाफ इंजरी है या उसको इशू है तो बेशक उनको रेस्ट करा दिए, क्योंकि अच्छी फॉर्म में है, खेलते हुए आ रहे हैं, तो रेस्ट उनके लिए बुरा नहीं होगा.
ये आप देखें, रन्स पर विकेट सबसे ज्यादा जो खराब है वो पेशावर का ही है, 39.84.
बिल्कुल बहुत कम विकेटें लेने में कामयाब हुए हैं इस पूरे HBL PSL में और यही उनका फैक्टर रहा है क्योंकि 240 भी बना के 2 बार अबव 200 वो डिफेंड नहीं कर सकी उसको, तो वो इशू तो रहा है। तो मेरे नज़दीक ये आज का मैच इनके लिए ऐसा है जहाँ पे अपने डिफरेंट बॉलर्स को भी ट्राई कर सकते हैं जो बेंच स्ट्रेंथ है। कभी कभी बहुत जैसे कल उस्मान खान को मुल्तान लेके आए हैं, तो क्या पता कोई ऐसा बॉलर वहाँ पे मौजूद हो जो एक स्पार्क लेके आए इनकी बॉलिंग यूनिट में।
अच्छा, एक मजेदार बात है कि क्वेटा और मुल्तान के खिलाफ ये डिफेंड नहीं कर पाए थे 240 इनका बॉलिंग अटैक, लेकिन दूसरों ने भी उतने ही रन खाए थे। आइए ब्रेक लेते हैं, विल कम बैक एंड विल डिस्कस मोर ऑन मैच 29। Welcome back once again to the pitch side studio, and we've got a segment. And I want Waqar Yunus to listen to it very carefully because Butch has found a way how to bowl on these pitches.
Well, what explosive entertainment we have seen here at the Pindi Cricket Stadium. An absolute batter's paradise here that we've seen. 6 individual centuries across the men's and the women's game. So much so that Mark Butch has decided to bring himself out of retirement. I saw you with your kit bag and your bat. Anything to bat on this, hey?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's been absolutely fantastic, hasn't it, for the batters? And the bowlers have just been having nightmares, PTSD. If you look at Usman Khan yesterday, the record had only lasted for less than 24 hours, really. Riley Rousseau with that fastest ever HBL PSL 100, and then it was battered by Usman Khan. And you see here, this is Kays Ahmed, who's having a bit of a shocker. He went for the most runs ever by a bowler in HBL PSL in a 4-over spell, getting the ball sort of in that kill zone, very, very straight at the stumps, and it was absolutely dismissed by Usman Khan. Now, very big credit to Kays Ahmed, because a lot of bowlers would have just decided after getting hit for 50 off their first 2 that that's it, I'm done. But maybe inadvertently he happened upon something in terms of how to bowl on these decks. So the first wicket was against Riley Rousseau, the man who held the fastest HBL PSL record. He went wider and flatter, kept it away from the stumps at him. But this is the one that interests me the most. This is Mohammed Hafiz, I think. Sorry, it's Rizwan, Mohammed Rizwan. It was the right Mohammed, but the wrong surname. This is the one that really interests me. It's wide of the stumps again to the right-hander, but there's an enormous amount of overspin on that ball. And what the overspin does is takes the ball away from the middle of the bat height to then give you an extra maybe inch, 2 inches, very important, as you know, Erin, a couple of extra inches, make the ball bounce that little bit more and find the top edge of the bat. And that is what Kays Ahmed unlocked. Now, he still went for 77, but it gave him a little bit of a clue, a little bit of a chance.
Absolutely, and you know, in a game where we saw the highest ever HBL PSL total, 262, Abbas Afridi became the leading wicket taker in the HBL PSL because he was successful here when every other bowler was absolutely going under the pump. So, you know, what was it about what he delivered that worked for him on this particular wicket?
I mean, you're absolutely right. Abbas Afridi, out of all of the bowlers, I think only Rashid Khan has also had a little bit of success here on the Pindi swing. Now, Abbas Afridi has a wonderful, wonderful slower ball. He took 5 for yesterday, and so much so important was that, and so unusual was that on this deck, that he ended up making the Man of Match award as well. But again, all of these wickets here are these back-of-the-hand slower balls. Now, the back-of-the-hand slower ball is essentially a top-spin delivery. It's pace-off and it's top-spin. Watch this here to Iftikhar. Now, generally speaking, if that delivery has come out of the front of the hand, it does not bounce as much as this. See how high up on the bat that is?
Surprises them, doesn't it?
The batters have been finding the middle of the bat at will. They've been doing it with their eyes closed. But when you bowl that overspinner, a little bit of topspin, it just kicks, just bounces that little bit more. It misses the middle of the bat, hits the stickers, hits the top edge, and it gives you a chance of bringing the fielders into play in the outfield. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is about the only thing I've been able to spot here that is in the bowler's favour at all.
Yeah, it's been incredibly impressive. A 5 for him. He got a hat-trick, and that is why he was our player of the match. Despite the fact we did have that fastest century in HBL PSL history, he was just unbelievable here today in this wicket. Let's hope that the bowlers have been, you know, kind of keeping an eye on this and getting a few tips and tricks, because I do not believe with this beautiful-looking deck behind us it's going to be any easier for the bowling unit today.
All yours.
He is little late. We are almost end of this leg, so there's no point telling people now. But I tell you, how many guys bowl those deliveries, those top spinners.
Back of the hand, yeah.
But yeah, he's 100% right that if you can just make that ball bounce a touch more than normal, that's the only chance you have on this pitch. Pace has been, gone all over the park. It has been very, very tough. Yes, spinners with the top spin, leg spinners. Leg spinners are always good when you talk about white ball cricket, and they've been outstanding.
Great. All right, time for us to take a break. Up next, we got the toss and the pitch report lined up, so don't go away.
Well, it's an absolute pleasure to be back with you all at the Pitchside studio. And one of my favourite things about coming to Pakistan is undoubtedly the food. On a rare night off the other night, I went up the hill to Manal, and Sikandar, my presenter buddy, well, he went around town in Islamabad to show you some of the most amazing restaurants that you can find. Where did he go? Let's take a look.
Almost every major city in Pakistan has something or the other special about them, especially food. Karachi, Lahore, they all talk about their food. When you come to Islamabad, there are quite a few options which you can explore talking about international cuisines. And here's one right behind me. It's Fuoco. In English, it means flames. It is an Italian restaurant. Let's go inside and find out what do they prepare for us. So here we are now. I've got my soup and my appetizer, the mushroom risotto, and this is the cauliflower soup. And the amazing part is the presentation, the way they got it. Let's try it out. Nice, rich and creamy. Wow. So that would be a margherita pizza. And the sea bass. Amazing. Wow. Yeah. Oh, good. So what is this sauce? Oh, okay. Have a look at this. Where do we start? It's really nice. That's a sea bass. I'm going to try everything. Pizza, I'm not using any cutlery. That's the right way to have pizza. Margherita, nothing beats that. So remember, guys, I said if you want to have some really nice, authentic Italian food, you got to come to Fuoco. It's in F6 in Islamabad, and I'm telling you, don't miss this. Fuoco for flames.
Oh, working hard or hardly working, Sikandar. That looked absolutely delicious. Darren Ganga's made his way down to the Pitchside studio. And Ganga, your family's come over here for the very first time. I'm sure you've been out experiencing some of the delicious cuisine that Pakistan has to offer.
Well, I tell you what, I've always enjoyed touring Pakistan, and even now working in comms, getting the chance to go around Pakistan, it's been incredible. My family is getting the opportunity. I've been to Kosal Market, which has like quite a few food options. We've enjoyed that thoroughly. And they've gone to Pir Sohava, I think it's called. Yeah,
Sohava, yeah.
Up in the mountains. It's absolutely beautiful. So wonderful to be here, and the kindness and graciousness of the people, very, very, very incredible.
It's absolutely unparalleled, isn't it? You never feel more welcome than when you're here in Pakistan. But I suppose there is a cricket match going on, so we should have a little bit of a chat about that. And Sana, one of the biggest news out of the middle already today is that Peshawar Zalmi is out. He's still not well post that fever. We saw that set him out of the second innings the other day. Tom Kohler-Cadmore comes in as replacement captain. What does that do to the dynamic of the team for you?
Of course, it's not the ideal preparation going into the eliminators and the qualifiers. So you would want your regular captain to do that, but health is something extremely important. So it gives a team a different leader for one match. Maybe he can bring something new to the team, but he would not want to make too many changes because there's a plan when you play a tournament. But with the batting, they will be able to tweak a little bit. The top order has been very consistent for them. So let's see who they replace when Babar is out. So maybe the TKC gets another position up, one up in the order.
Yeah, I'm sure he'd enjoy a little bit more responsibility with the bat. He's been fantastic in the tournament so far. Do you bat first if you win the toss today, Ganga? Day game, obviously.
Well, you've got to look at the stats at this venue. You can say it's a chase venue because we've seen 10 matches here this season, 6 won by teams chasing. And if you look at this Islamabad United side and what they've achieved this season, they've won a lot of matches chasing. I think 8 times they've chased and they've produced 6 wins so far. So they might be keen to chase. In terms of the Zalmis, well, they prefer batting first. So I think that might be an option. The thing about them, the conundrum that they face is their bowling hasn't really fired. So they might want to make a few changes and might want to do things differently by bowling first and chasing on this occasion.
And Sana, if you are the Zalmi and you know that today's game doesn't enable you a first or second position, do you mix it up and give your bowlers a break and save them some of the mental anxiety of having to bowl on that deck today?
I think it would be a mix for me as a captain. Some of the bowlers who have not been doing well and need some confidence. It depends on different bowlers. Some bowlers want to play more and that's when they get confidence, and some bowlers need a break. So I would see which bowler I want to rest, and I would definitely want to try 1 or 2 players on the bench, so maybe they can add some spark to the bowling unit.
I mean, you never know what can happen when you explore what's in your bench. Look at Usman Khan yesterday for the Multan Sultans. How has he been sitting just twiddling his thumbs for the majority of the season?
Yeah, and it has provided a great option now going into the playoff round. So that is the spirit in which teams should look at their 11 today. Again, a player coming in difficult bowling conditions and excelling like an Abbas Afridi will add confidence for them going into the qualifiers. So it's a double-edged sword, so to speak. I think players, they just need to go out and play fearless cricket, whatever happens at the toss.
Yeah, well, let's see, because the Be Love Network toss is finally ready. Let's get out to Simon Dool in the middle with our 2 captains.
Be-Love Network toss time. We've got the 2 captains alongside me. Tom Kohler-Cadmore is here. Shadab Khan is here. And Javed Malik is our match referee. Shadab, you've got the coin.
Heads.
Heads is the call. It's gone under the signage.
It's a tails.
It's tails. Shadab, you won the toss. What are you going to do and why?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. We wanted to bowl first because, you know, we have a database franchise, so we wanted to do, because we have to see their strength and our strength, so that's why we're doing bowl first.
All right, the qualification is assured, but that number 2 spot up for grabs. What have you talked to the team about leading into today?
Not much. Make it simple plan and try to win the game. Everyone has to come there and try to win the game. And just give 100% on the field. Don't worry about the result, because we know that we have that much of talent in our team. If we give 100%, the result will come as well.
How's Azam's finger, and what are your team changes?
Azam is fine, but we give him a rest for today's game. And Mubassir is not playing. We give a rest to him as well. Hassan Nawaz and Shoaib Maqsood come in.
All right, good luck. Go well.
Thank you.
TKC, come on in. Having to bat first, having to set a target, how do you feel?
Yeah, good. Obviously, it's a great pitch here, so hopefully we can get some big runs on the board and put some pressure on them.
The bowlers have had a tough time. You know, every team's bowlers have had a pretty tough time here. What do you talk to the bowlers about leading into today?
I think it's clear that it is tough for everyone, so you are kind of relaying that message of how hard it is out here, and 1 or 2 extra dot balls in innings actually is making the difference, and that can kind of, instead of thinking normally, I want to go for 30 or 35, here if you're going for 40, 45, it's actually a good spell. So it's kind of changing the expectation slightly and just letting them know that we do back them.
Obviously you're here, Bubba's not. How is he progressing, and is he going to be right for a few days' time?
Yeah, I think so. It's just obviously we want to make sure he is right for the knockouts instead of kind of forcing him out here today. And Yeah, so his health's obviously the main thing as well.
All right, you've got your team list with you because there are 6 changes, I believe. Can you tell me who they are?
Yeah, so we've got Rajapaksa coming in, Jimmy Neesham, Amir Jamal, Khurram, Salman and Sufyan.
All right, well done. Good luck, eh? Go well.
Thank
Put
you.
on a show. There you go. That's the situation out here. It's Islamabad United who have won the toss. They are going to bowl first. Why? Tell me why. I don't know. I'm going to go down here. Every time I look at this pitch, my hamstring gets a bit sore as a bowler. I don't know, Waqar Yunus, how do you feel when you look at this? Tell us more. And what do you see? And what can the bowlers do?
I had a bad pillow last night, so I'm just got a little soreness in the neck. But yeah, I mean, it's been a nightmare for the bowlers. But maybe a little encouragement. I just want to make them feel good about this pitch. It's got a little bit more grass, and it's a little fresher. It's been a week. Last time they played on this pitch, yes, 200 runs were scored. 200 is a joke on this surface. So 200 runs were scored even in the previous, a week ago game. So, but I feel that this pitch will have a little bit more bounce, a little bit more carry. So I once again say that I said it yesterday also, that back of the length. Don't go in that zone. Don't go around that 6-7 meters, because that is where the problem is.
You still think there's enough pace and bounce? One thing I have noticed, there's quite a strong breeze, so maybe the bowlers can protect that side of the ground a little bit more, because the breeze is blowing really strongly away to this side of the ground.
Look, I am sure the management have spoken about it, and it's a little bit overcast. The sun is playing a bit of hide and seek, so this might not just be that bad for the bowlers. I'll still say 200 is on the card, and as Tigazi just mentioned, that 4 overs 40-45 will still take it. So that means, all you got to do is just look to bowl those dot deliveries, and when you get into the last overs, have a plan with this breeze. If just make them hit that side of the pitch. So I guess that's the only way you can survive.
All right, we're not really in the business of predicting scores, because every time we try that, we just get it completely wrong, and this has made a fool out of us time and time again. Batters do your job, bowlers do your job. Let's hope for a great game.
Thanks, boys. Islamabad United win the toss and they elect to bowl first on what Waqar Yunus says is probably not as bad a deck for the bowlers as we have seen in previous games. But there are so many changes for both teams. We're going to discuss all of that straight after the break, so stick with us. We're counting down to ball 1 of Islamabad United taking on Peshawar Zalmi here at the HBL PSL. And the Zalmi, they've been sent into bat first. So, Sanamia, 6 changes. Got your work cut out for you with this playing 11 today.
Of course, I think Babar Azam, it's not a surprise for me, because they want to try everyone who has been on the bench on this pitch as well. Rajapaksa comes in for Babar Azam. Jimmy Neesham makes his way back. He only played 1 or 2 games at the start of the tournament. Amir Jamal, the all-rounder, he's back. Khurram Shehzad, he's a pretty good bowler. Let's see what he can do on this pitch. Salman Ashad with his slinging action, he's back. And Sufyan Mukim, the emerging wrist spinner, he's also in the team.
Completely new look Peshawar Zalmi for tonight's game. And Darren Ganga, as we take a little look at the other side, Islamabad United, obviously Azam Khan being rested because of that injury to his hand, but a couple of changes for them as well.
Yep, 2 changes, and that's a big blow for them not having Azam Khan. Shoaib Maqsood comes in for Azam Khan. That's one of the 2 changes. Also, Hassan Nawaz is the other right-hand batter, right-hand off-spinner in this side. They rely a lot on their top order. That is an area that is of concern. Hales will need runs, so too Gurbaz, but their middle to lower order, that's been their most significant sort of asset as a team. Their ability to chase. They're the best chasing side in my estimation in HBL PSL Edition 8.
It's a little bit of a risk, though, isn't it, for Islamabad United, because they are letting Azam Khan have that rest, but there is a top 2 position on the line for them today. It's a gamble. What do you make of the decision they've made to give him that extra rest?
I think I agree with it, because you don't want to force an injury, because he's not 100%, and especially when you have a finger injury, it's not a fracture yet, but if it's still swollen and a ball hits you again, it can develop into a fracture, and I think that's very important, that they can win against Peshawar Zalmi without him also. So I think it's the right decision for me.
And Ganga, we take a look at Peshawar Zalmi. They've changed half their side, over half their side, 6 changes. It's a little bit unsettling heading into the playoffs, surely, to sort of mess around with your team like that. Momentum's so important in this format of the game.
Look, it's not an exact science in sport. If you look at Peshawar Zalmi, they can't really get into that top 2 category. So what they're probably doing is using the opportunity to give a few players on the bench a chance to perform, to address the selectors, because they will go into that all-important eliminator, which they will have to win. So I agree with this, and it also represents the fact that they haven't been consistently winning as a team. So more changes reflects the fact that you don't have a settled side, and that's been the case all season for Zalmi.
And one thing I would want to add here is that you want to compare bowlers on the same surface. So when they are going to play new bowlers on this surface, it's easier for them to compare between the two, because performances in Multan or Lahore, that would be different for bowlers.
Well, one guy that did survive the axing of half the Peshawar Zalmi team was Mohammad Harris, and he features in our Star Talk today.
This was a beautiful shot.
जी बिल्कुल मिस्टर गूगल के पीछे तो यही रीज़न है कि मेरे जो काम है, मैं पंक्चुअलिटी ज़्यादा है, सब चीज़ें काम पे करता हूँ, और जो इंफॉर्मेशन चाहिए होती है किसी मेरे टीममेट्स को या किसी प्लेयर को, इवन मेरी फैमिली में भी, तो उनको मैं दे देता हूँ। जिस तरह की भी इंफॉर्मेशन, जिस तरह गूगल काम करता है उस तरह मैं भी करता हूँ, लेकिन वो थोड़ा ज़्यादा अपडेटेड है, मैं थोड़ा स्लो हूँ उससे। तो यही वजह है कि मुझे मिस्टर गूगल कहा जाता है। पिछले साल अगर मैं देखूँ तो एज एन एमर्जिंग मैं पिक हुआ था, तो फिर चूँकि कुछ वजूहत की वजह से मैं एज एन एमर्जिंग नहीं खेल सका, सिल्वर में खेल सका, तो मुझे यकीन नहीं हो रहा था कि अब मैं सिल्वर में खेलूँगा या नहीं खेलूँगा। तो अल्लाह का शुक्र है, अल्लाह ने मुझे मौका दिया, मैं अपनी मेहनत जारी रखते हुए फिर मुझे मौका मिला, और जिस तरह का मैंने परफॉर्म किया फिर पिछले साल पेशावर ज़ल्मी के लिए, तो उसने मेरा पूरा कैरियर चेंज कर दिया। उसकी वजह से मेरा पाकिस्तान के लिए नाम आया, फिर मैं पाकिस्तान के साथ यूज़ टू हो गया और उनके साथ मैं मैचेस खेलता रहा, फिर उन्होंने मुझे वर्ल्ड कप में खिलाया, तो काफ़ी चेंजेस आई है पिछले साल में। जी पेशावर से मैंने अंडर 13 में रिजेक्ट हुआ था, फिर अंडर 16 में भी रिजेक्ट हुआ था, 2-3 साल उसमें गुजर गए, फिर मैं मेहनत करता रहा, तो मैं वो अंडर 19 के तीसरे साल में खेला पेशावर डिस्ट्रिक्ट से। उसके बाद मैंने पेशावर रीजन अंडर 19 की नुमाइंदगी की, उसमें मैंने परफॉर्म किया, तो पाकिस्तान अंडर 19 के कैंप के लिए बुलाया गया, कैंप में मैंने अच्छा परफॉर्म किया, फिर मुझे पाकिस्तान अंडर 19 के लिए सेलेक्ट किया गया, तो पाकिस्तान अंडर 19 के काफ़ी मैचेस खेले, तो पेशावर का काफ़ी रोल रहा मेरे कैरियर में। मेरा क्रिकेटिंग ड्रीम बेसिकली टेस्ट क्रिकेट में 10,000 रन बनाने हैं, और जो वनडे और T20 इसमें भी तकरीबन मैंने शमूल दोनों को मिला के मैंने कोई 15,000 रन बनाने, तो ये मेरा ड्रीम है कि मैं नंबर 1 रहूँ, और टोटल तीनों फॉर्मेट में मिला के मैंने कोई 25,000 रन करने हैं इंशाल्लाह।
Well, that was Mohammad Harris, one of the superstars of Peshawar Zalmi, who will no doubt be looking forward to getting out onto this batter's paradise here at Pindi Cricket Stadium today. And Darren Ganga, I'm going to throw you on the spot here today. Predictions, what do you think we're going to see today?
Well, this game is a game where players sometimes succumb to pressure. I think Zalmi, they're under a lot less pressure than Islamabad United. Islamabad United playing for a spot in that top 2 position. So I would say Zalmi. I'm taking a punt against the stats because, of course, we've seen Islamabad United being more competitive and more successful as a team this season.
And Sana as well, Islamabad United, obviously they didn't have the start, the game that they wanted last time. They fell very short. They're going to want to bounce back here at home in front of their home crowd this afternoon.
Yeah, I think because Darren has gone with Peshawar, I'll just go with Islamabad. I'm living in Islamabad, so I'm just going to support the local team.
Well, last day of the HVL PSL round games today. So much action to unfold. Stick with us. Ball 1 straight after the break.